Greetings, my good people. My name is Devontae. I go by Rockstar brand, RXSTVR. Um, my brand touches on a lot of things. I'm in music, um, getting into fashion a bit, and also some other community activist things that I'm working on getting together. Not quite there yet, not quite started, planned, working on getting over that hump and getting it rolling and getting people involved. So let me say, in the wake of Nipsey Hussle's death and the resurfacing of talk of Dr.Sebi, excuse me if I'm mispronouncing that, I felt more inclined to sit down and record this video. I've been planning to start my YouTube channel, to start my motivational, inspirational speaking, and my community group that raises awareness as far as laws that we need to know as a people, current and past events that are detrimental to our past and our future. But as I said, in the wake of Nipsey Hussle's death yesterday, the resurfacing of talk of Dr.Sebi, because Nipsey was making a documentary on Dr.Sebi, who a lot of people aren't knowledgeable of. I've heard of him, I've viewed a couple things, but I never really studied him, but I was knowledgeable of what they say he did. And I was surprised to find out that there was actually, he went to court in 1985 or 87. On the video, he says 87, but I did not, Sebi himself says 87, but I did not fact check the dates. Okay. So anyways, I feel more inclined to come and speak and get the ball rolling. I just feel like it's time. Timing is everything, energy is everything with this shift, even though social media trends and topics generally last a few days to a few weeks, then boom, the next big thing. So what's gonna be the next big thing that takes our mind off of this? We don't know. Let me go ahead and get my piece on it out now and get the ball rolling and establish my ground on where I'm standing on these kind of events and topics. We'll know more as the details emerge, but Nipsey was a positive man. We all know, well, maybe not all, but know of his gang-banging affiliation and background, but he was working more so on uplifting his people. I mean, that comes when you get older in age anyways. You become more, the more knowledge you get, the more powerful you get. And so you start taking steps forward instead of backwards and tearing each other down. And you'll still be you regardless. I'm still me regardless. I'm not a fully positive, motivational, happy person all the time. No one is. If you think they are, they're faking the funk. And there's nothing wrong with setting your image to be that strong person, to be the leader that someone else needs. But none of us are perfect. None of us are completely without sin or without negativity in our lives, without doubt, self-doubt, without, doing things that we shouldn't sometimes. So also with that, I decided to go ahead and put on this button up, and that's why I'm sitting on the floor. I don't have on my pants, my dress pants. That's why I'm on the floor so you can see the top half. I had on a branded t-shirt. I was in the bed relaxing. It came across me to go and do this video. And opposed to just making a video in that branded shirt, for one, I'm not endorsing any brands or promoting any agenda, whether negative or positive for that. So that was gonna go. I was gonna change to a white t-shirt, but I said, let me go in the closet and put on a button-up, a dress shirt. Let's look our part, you know? We wanna look the part to go in for job interviews. We wanna use white voices. We wanna, go elsewhere in other people's communities and other people's businesses' faces and look the part, but then look basic and simple at home and in our communities, and have people just thinking, okay, it's weird to see someone in dress shirts, you know, someone that's, you know, it's weird. It's not the norm. You used to sagging pants, used to stylish clothes, designer this. Let's eliminate that. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Dress it up. I mean, do your thing. We all want to be comfortable, and there's nothing wrong with being comfortable in ourselves and our communities. But also, excuse me, we need to make it a key point to present ourselves as we are, kings, queens, gods. And it starts, I mean, it's something as little as this. Me throwing on this shirt for this video opposed to sitting in my branded t-shirt. It gotta start somewhere, and I wanna be a part of the spark, a part of the change, a part of, and it's people already doing this. There's people already speaking out. There are people already making progress. I love it. I wanna be a part of that. I wanna do my share of my community with the people around me and expand it as far as we could go. If we all did our share in our areas, our local communities, we'd be unstoppable. Man, this video is going all over the place because as I speak, the more I want to touch on. I want to touch on how they bring us down. We are meant to bring our own people down and lift others and to hate ourselves. Anyways, in the wake of Nipsey Hussle's death and the resurfacing of the information that Dr.Sebi has provided, has proved in court. I'll give you a little bit of background on that. He went to court, he was arrested, and he said his mother told him as he started to cure people, he's cured people of AIDS, herpes, cancer even, lupus, and a lot of people say it's a hoax. But of course, when you're doing something that the country is not benefiting from, they're gonna debunk it. He had a mysterious death in police custody. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Right? So anyways, he went to court and he won. They arrested him for false accusations of curing AIDS and for practicing without a license. And I was watching a video. He said he's never been to school, kindergarten and high school, so definitely not medical school. But he's an African man, and he spoke on knowing, you know, the African brain and what they learned and how they move. He said what his parents instilled in him. So anyways, we get back to this point that he went to court. He was tried and acquitted of those charges. Acquitted of falsely claiming to cure AIDS. Acquitted of practicing without a license. In the state of New York at that, where they, you know, they're tough. They're tough all over on us as a people. When I say us as a people, I mean black people, people of color. There's no secret, and I'm not gonna hold my tongue on that. I would love for us all to be inclusive. I have no agenda against any other race. I don't hate white people. I don't hate Chinese, Asians, gays. I don't hate any of that. But there are things that I do believe were instilled into black people for a reason, to tear us apart, and it's no secret. I mean, they even got books, Willie Lynch book. Like I said, this video is going all over. But this is just an introduction of myself, my ideas, and some things I want to touch on to get my YouTube channel rolling, and get my speaking rolling, and hopefully I can make connections with other like-minded people, and we can get this ball rolling and start making some advancements. We cannot do it alone. Anyways, Dr.Sebi was acquitted of these charges. It means he beat the court in New York for falsely claiming to cure AIDS. So if he beat the court for falsely claiming to cure AIDS, what does that tell you? They agreed that this man cured AIDS, okay? Even with him practicing without a license. And like I said, I still have to dive more into the case. He won. He was tried and won. So that means they agreed that he cured AIDS, okay? That's just a little background knowledge on that. And Nipsey Hussle was doing a documentary on Dr.Sebi, which is general knowledge. I mean, you know, everything with court is general knowledge. you could go and access it. So please do. But the thing is, in today's day and age, they focus our minds on stupidity, stupid shit. I'm not gonna hold my tongue. I curse. So in some of my videos, I'm a curse. Try to keep it clean for the sake of the message. But I do also believe that a few curse words or talking in a manner that someone does not feel is proper does not take away from your message. The message is gonna hit the way it's supposed to hit for the people that it's supposed to reach. I'm not gonna fake and pretend. Those are two things that I don't do. I don't pretend, I don't fake. But I do try to be the best version of myself, and I want to start promoting that more. And like I said, I'm not one-dimensional. So there's different aspects of me that someone might not agree with or might not like, and there's things out in the universe that they might think, oh, well, he can't be positive and be talking about this and be doing that. I speak about my life, my experiences, and I talk about the change that I am encouraging to make. I am changing within myself daily, and I want our community to start changing within itself daily. But also, I recognize, and a lot of us need to recognize, instead of pretending and acting like we are perfect and acting like these speakers are just so flawless and they don't have anger problems and they don't get sad, it's bullshit. It's bullshit, okay? So I'm gonna give it to you straight. I'm gonna be me 100% of the time because that's all that I know how to be. And I am stepping forward to become a better version of myself. Okay, with that being said, I kind of lost track, but this is just, again, an introduction video to myself, to my channel, and what I'm speaking on. The Dr.Sebi, Nipsey Hussle, conspiracy, as we'll call it, is just it's the starting point. It really sparked in my mind, especially seeing the ignorance on social media, which is, again, another mechanism that just brings us down. We display ignorance and too much ignorance. Ladies are not treating themselves like queens. Men are not being kings. Everything's hee-hee, ha-ha, but it's not. Our community is not hee-hee, ha-ha. The fact that we are segregated is not hee-hee, ha-ha. The fact that they are killing us for trying to make advancements. Any true leader that's pushing the envelope, where are they? Huey P. Newton, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, come on, man. You could name drop all day long. And this is also a part of it, because in the Dr.Sebi video that I was just watching, he spoke on this, and he said, there are no black leaders in America that care about black health. Said, and the video was in the 2000s, I believe. And the case happened in '87. He said he was happy when he cured AIDS, and when he was proven that he did this. And he said not one black leader, Farrakhan, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, nobody reached out to him and said, let me get that cure. Let me present this to the people. You know why? Because those black people in power, they tied in with that other side. They tied in with their white master. It's only so far that you can push the envelope without them shutting you down. Without, they don't like people in power. That's why there's been a lot of conspiracies. Even with the R. Kelly case. People been knowing what he's going on. He was tried for sex with a minor. How many years ago? I was a child. There's no secret. And the Bill Cosby stuff, they're taking it back to the 80s, 70s. Where was it? Michael Jackson. And you can call it conspiracy if you want, but you better wake up. These were all people of influence. Michael Jackson owned 50% of Sony, was going to acquire 100% of Sony. They said R. Kelly was about to buy a news station, and 2 record labels. Bill Cosby trying to buy NBC. Shut him down. Get him out of there. Tarnish his name, tarnish his legacy, tarnish what they built in the better side of them, destroy it with all their negative sides. We are not one-dimensional people. We all have flaws. I spoke on this. I touched on this. And I'm not making excuses for any irrational behavior, not for no sex with no minors, not for drugging and raping. I'm not for none of that. But they don't mind any of that until you come into stepping on their side of the field. When you're starting to interfere with their influence and what they want to put into the world, because, I mean, the media is controlled, let's be honest. What goes viral is what they want to go viral. It's 1,000 different things going on daily. They hone in on what they want to hone in on. That's why knowledge is power, research is power. But, as they say, if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. Black people, put it in a book. There's very limited amounts of us that do our research and study. Me included, I don't do as much as I should. And we can't leave it all to the internet. There's still hard copy books. There's still, I mean, a lot of it is on the internet. You can find reliable sources other than Wikipedia. You can find reliable and credible sources with all of this information that we need to acquire. That's why I'm starting with hard copies. My group is going to start very concentrated. You're going to start with hard copies of articles by credible sources. We're going to start with books and start exploring all these different things. So anyways, back to the men of power, black leaders of power. Oprah, billionaire. Farrakhan, I don't know his wealth status, but look at the influence that he has. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. Nobody reached out to Sebi for this. This for this cure for black people, for our people. Now that's just plain ridiculous. But you gotta know, it's an agenda set, and if they want to maintain their position without all the their discrediting factors being brought into the spotlight, they're gonna play their role. They're gonna take what they could get and leave it at that. And I will say, in some cases, it's better to make advancement where you can. You would rather step forward and have some influence and be able to speak some positive message and uplift the people to an extent, opposed to not doing that at all. So I understand that a bit, but also as a leader, when you in that position of power, especially when you have that amount of influence, I just feel you should be willing to go all the way. There's people that laid down their life for this. And I feel that's how, if we're gonna have any change, our people of power need to be willing to lay down their lives for this. And truth be told, if we bond together more as a community, as a black people, as a nation, and start rebuilding ourselves, for one, start teaching ourselves to respect each other, start teaching ourselves about credit, about investing, instead of always pulling each other apart, envying one another, greed, always wanting to do better than the next. Let's uplift each other. Appreciate your brother or sister in power. Appreciate your brother or sister with more. And then maybe we'll have more people willing to step up and do more, to pull you up. There's plenty of helping hands out, but there's just so much hate around that it kind of discourages that. So we need to start with ourselves, and that's where I'm starting at, small. But if all of us, like I said, started with our community, started with our households, and started teaching and learning what we need to learn, those numbers matter, and they're multiplied pretty quickly. There'll be less of a need for these people of power to lay down their lives for us, because we'll all be pushing the envelope. We'll all be standing together, and there won't be an isolated amount. Of course, there are going to be a few leaders that are higher than the others, or people with more influence than others. But in general, when we're pushing for change of the education system, change of the lawmaking, the judicial system, and change in our community, what can they do? We can't stop all of us. It takes a village. Every other race bonds together but black people. And not to say that there aren't black people that do. Of course there are. Of course you have variations, but it's not enough. We need more. The video is getting pretty long. I'm going to cut it short here and say, do your research. Check into Nipsey Hussle. and the change he was bringing to his community. Check into Dr.Sebi and his cure for AIDS, cancer. Man, do your research, and I'm going to be touching on it more because I'm going to push the envelope. I've got to a point in my life where everything feels like I'm stagnant. Whatever it is that I do, aside from nourishing and raising my kids, there's barely satisfaction in anything. And I'm feeling more and more inclined. Like I said, I've been thinking about doing this. I've been thinking about starting this channel. But there's a time for everything, and I believe now is my time. And I'm willing to lay down my life for this. All right. Change starts with us. Change starts with you. Reach into yourself, educate yourself. Knowledge is power. Love yourself. Love your brothers and sisters. Uplift each other. And let's get this ball moving, because history is starting to repeat itself. They're lynching again. Still mass incarcerations. Man, there's so much to touch on. And I look forward to exploring that with you guys. And I hope as we grow together, I hope we can grow together. And I hope more and more people reach out, comment, subscribe, send me messages, send me emails. Let's communicate. Share your knowledge with me. I'm going to share my knowledge with you. Let's rebuild. Peace and prosperity.